A prerequisite for setting up a DIY mobile gift page requires knowledge of how DIY pages work. This video makes the assumption that you have that knowledge. First, let's define a mobile giving page. It is a donation page that has been laid out in such a way as to make it easily readable on a mobile phone. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. You will need a separate page for each giving option that you want to present to your donors. To begin the process, you must be logged into your Denari company in Denari2. Click the eDenari link on the left sidebar menu and then click on DIY Pages. That will take us to this page where we can click the Add New Page button. Give the page a name and select a page type from the drop-down menu. In this case, it will be a simple giving page. And we'll click then Save New Page. The new page will now open in the Layout Editor view. The first task is to move to the Giving Option field on the left and select a previously defined giving option. Any gifts given through this mobile page will now use the fund and appeal codes set up in the giving option. At the bottom of this section, you'll find the live page URL. I've found it easiest when designing a page to keep that page open in a separate tab so that I can see exactly what the page will look like. I'll do that now. I'll copy the URL, open a new tab, and then click Paste. Control V. Notice that the background color is a kind of ugly gray. I'll change that first. So back at the editor, I'm going to expand the page background section, and I'll choose a background. Of course, you can always upload a new one if you'd like. And then I'm going to check the box that says Set Background Image to 100% width of the page. Keep in mind here that this will be viewed on a mobile device, so users won't see a lot of the background. And now I'll shrink the page background to get it out of the way. You may have already noticed that there's a mobile page selector in the upper left corner. This mobile page can be used in one of two ways. One, it can be used by simply sending the URL found in the live page link to your donors. They can open it on their phone and make the donation. Or two, it can be linked to a full page. That method allows you to send them the link to a full donation page that they can open on their computer. However, if they're using a phone, Denari will detect that and show this mobile page instead. To do that, click the switch to Yes and select a full-size page from the drop-down menu. This tells Denari which mobile page to display when it detects that the donor is on their phone. The right side of the page displays the controls just as it would when designing a full donation page. Again, this video assumes that you're familiar with that process. The big difference here is the width of the page. The ideal width for a mobile device today is 360 pixels wide. To achieve that, I'm first going to remove some of the controls that I don't want on this page. Now I'm going to right click in a blank area of the page and choose Edit HTML. I want to change the setting, at least temporarily, to make the page longer so that I can move all of the remaining controls to the bottom so that they're in a line. I'm also putting them in the order that I want them. And while I'm here, I'm going to change the background color of the page. Now remember, a second ago we changed the background of the overall browser page. This is the actual white or center part of the page that I'm going to make white. And now I'm going to drag some of these controls out of the way so I can position them the way I want. Okay, that's approximately the order that I want for things. Now let me move this down a little bit. Now, I'll reset the width of all of the controls one at a time to a width of 340 pixels. I'm using 340 because I want to allow a little bit of padding on the left and right sides of the page. I don't want the text in some of the controls to be jammed against the right side of the page. I'm also going to change the size of the buttons here. I found that the smaller size seems to work better on phones. Just looks a little bit better. And now the last thing I need to change is the width of the page itself. Again, I'll right click here in a blank space and choose Edit HTML. And I'll set the width then of the page to 360 pixels. Also, I noticed that I don't need all that extra space that I created in the length, so I'll remove some of that. You'll need to experiment with the width until you get it just right. And that's the page. You can add text and separation lines, photos, etc. as you want to enhance the design, but that's the basic concept, and I did it rather quickly. You can certainly make it look better than this. You can review your layout by clicking on the tab with the page displayed and hit refresh anytime you want. Again, you'll need a separate page for each giving option that you want to present to donors, but that's fairly easy to do. To create a second page with this design, click back on the Denari page and go to DIY pages again. There you see the page that you've just created. Click copy, give the page a name, and then click the Copy to New Page button. Now you simply need to change the giving option to the newest giving option that you want to use. And the URL for this page will be different as well from the first page, so you'll need to copy that and use that as the link to this page. Finally, there's just one other thing that you can do, and that is to create a confirmation page for your mobile page, or create a mobile confirmation page. And you can do that simply by taking the mobile page or creating the new page, confirmation page that you normally would for a full size page, but again, make the width 360 pixels wide. So basically, when the donor makes a donation through their device, Denari will then pull in that mobile page with that 360 pixel width, and it just gives you the opportunity then to thank them for their donation. So from this main mobile page, you then just need to tell Denari which confirmation page you want to use, and so you can choose the new one that you've just created. This concludes the video on DIY mobile pages. If you have any questions, please contact tech support through the help button at the top of the page.